Hey, Steve here, Nate Card. So today we're going to talk about how to set up a show for your Whatnot stream. This is your first time, you're ready to go. How do you get started? Well, I'm going to show you how to get started. First thing you're going to do is go to your Seller Hub. You're going to click on Shows. You're going to come over here and you're going to hit Schedule. Schedule a show. You're going to name your show. For this case, we'll do Prismatic Selling the Pitch. Name it whatever you want. Try to use keywords that people will recognize. You're going to set a date and a time. I'm going to set this one for, let's do November 14th. Set our time to be 10 a.m. You can also do scheduling. I do this sometimes, but I'll schedule it in bulk. And then if there's any days that you want to take off, you can just go back in there and move them. I would not move them after you. I would not delete them after you schedule them because people are going to start bookmarking your shows, and you don't want to lose those bookmarks. So I would just schedule it, and then if you need to move the shows, you can move the shows. There's no penalty for moving shows. Category, choose your primary category. Mine's always going to be Pokemon cards. There's three options here. You can do singles, breaks, and surprise sets. If you're approved for breaks, it'll show up. If you're not approved for breaks as a new seller, most people are not. You will not even see this option. It'll just be singles and surprise sets. I always do singles. One thing to know is that if you set singles, you cannot create a surprise set. But if you set surprise sets, you can still do singles. So just keep that in mind when you're scheduling your show. If you're planning on doing a surprise set midstream, you surprise you want to do it, it will not let you do it midstream. You're gonna have to set that up beforehand. So I always do singles myself because I'm not really doing surprise sets anymore. Tags, I always try to get at least the name of the main set that I'm working on for that stream. And if I'm doing singles, I'll also do singles. And then they do sometimes have singles card week. I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back. Okay. Let's go back to the 14th and make sure we get that fixed. Where'd it go? There we go. Let's go back and edit this real quick. All right, so we're back where we were. Moderators, if you have moderators, you can always add a photo. I'd recommend going to Canva. I'll do a separate video on how to set up Canva to, specifically for your Whatnot streams. I always do free pickup. I've only had one person to ever do it. I'll have to blur this out. I realized I just doxed myself. We'll do Whatnot. I always put message me for details. Just to set up a meet if we have to meet. I've only had one person do it, so it's not really a big deal. This is important. First class letter. If you're doing singles, like single cards, you always want to have this turned on because nobody wants to pay $5 for a single card shipping. However, what I've noticed is that if you when you're doing giveaways, if this thing is not checked on, and you go do your giveaways, it will automatically default to charge you the ground shipping for giveaways. So you'll end up spending $5 every single giveaway. And if you do a lot of giveaways like I do, that adds up pretty quick. Priority mail shipping, I do leave that as an option, and it's always ground advantage for me. Shipping costs, I always try to max this out at $5.25. There's no reason to spend $10 on shipping when you're doing sports cards or Pokemon cards. I don't think there's ever going to be a case where you're spending that much. And even if you are, if somebody's spending that much money, I'm sure you can eat the $4 that it's going to cost you extra if you have to. English is always media words. I typically do not allow politics on my channel, so I'll type in the big keywords that you're thinking in your head right now. There's just no reason to have it on that show. So that's really it. And you slow down, you hit your show, and you're good to go. And that's how you set up your first Whatnot show. Please follow, like, and subscribe for more tips like this for your Whatnot stream.